Hey everybody, Callie here, and I'm so excited to bring you another awesome video chat with one of our incredible staff members. Actually, we're going to do a bit of a double one today, so stick around because we're going to meet some really cool folks. And first up, I'm joined by Jess. Hey Jess, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Right off the top, Jess is one of our, I think sort of longtime staff members. We'll get into the details in a second. She works out of the Thornhill Community Center, which is where our Markham Cat Adoption and Education Center is housed. During this time, during COVID-19, with community centers closed, of course, our Cat Adoption Center had to be closed. So, Jess, you're in a different location, right?
Yep.
So talk to me, Jess, a little bit. Let's start to get to know you. Why don't you tell me how long you've been with the organization and what brought you into this line of work?
So obviously, I'm sure like everybody else, I've always had a love of animals, had animals my whole life, mainly cats, but I've rode horses. I worked at a doggy daycare before I worked at the SPCA. But basically, I've been working with the SPCA since Cake first opened. So I was brought on at the end of December 2015 because Cake opened January 2016. So I've been there since then.
So who do you have with you today?
So today we have Kino here. He is around 1, and we think he's some sort of like Scottish fold, but Scottish straight because he doesn't have folded ears. He has the face of a Scottish fold, straight ears, but the coloring of a Siamese.
Aw, that's so cute. So for everybody, you're probably wondering where Jess is right now. So Jess, tell us a little bit, how your role has shifted during this time.
Usually at the Cat Adoption Center, I'm mainly adoptions. We're much smaller. So we spend our first couple hours of the day cleaning the cats, and then that's kind of it. Other than that, we're just socializing them and adopting them out. Here's a little different. So basically in the morning, I clean all of the cats that are up on the adoption floor right now. Plus we have quite a few small animals. So there's some bunnies and some guinea pigs as well that I'm cleaning. So feeding, cleaning them. And then I'm also helping out with like dishes and laundry and just kind of picking up wherever needs some help. And then a big chunk of my day is going back and enriching the same cats that I was with in the morning.
Well, I have to say, I appreciate what you've done, Jess, which is essentially jumping in where needed. That's really something to admire during this time. It's definitely been a different time for a lot of people, in some cases even a little bit stressful. So the fact that you've, sort of just said, don't worry about it, guys, I'll jump in where needed and help out. Yeah. I know that's very much appreciated by everybody. So thank you so much for everything that you do. So everybody, we are now joined by yet another amazing staff member. I'm joined by my good friend Shelby, and she of course works for the Provincial Education and Animal Center, which is exactly where we were chatting with Jess as well. I want to jump right in and get a little bit of information about you, Shelby. I'm lucky enough to work quite closely with you on a regular basis, so I know you pretty well, and so I know everybody out there is going to want to get to know you too. So why don't you tell us when you started with the organization and why you got into this line of work?
Well, Callie, I've been here for 5 years. I actually got this position through knowing the manager at the Ontario SPCA. That's where I did my volunteer hours when I was in high school. So that kind of led me into the Ontario SPCA world, and I got a little insight of what was going on behind the doors, and I really loved it. And
that's amazing. So big shout out, of course, to our friends up at the Aurelia Center. Love everybody up there, and what a perfect introduction into our organization. And I know you've had a really sort of varied role in that. I guess it's simple to say that, yes, you've been an adoption coordinator, but you've had a really big hand in helping out with digital aspects in terms of our social media pages, communicating with our adopters through those social media pages, obviously over the phone, in person, and really being that liaison with our community. So things are a little different now. Can you talk to me about kind of not having that maybe person-to-person interaction anymore, and how your role has shifted?
So I have been helping out a lot more hands-on with the animals, like Jessica is as well. So we've been doing a lot of cleaning and enrichment for the animals has been actually our top priority through this time, because they are here for a little bit longer than, of course, they normally would. But it's been fantastic because each staff member has had a chance to play with the animals in new and creative ways that we normally wouldn't have the time to do with being open to the public. So that it's really, the silver lining is that we've really gotten to know the animals that we'll be finding homes for.
I think that's something that I really appreciate about you, Shelby. And again, that's maybe coming a bit from a personal aspect because I know you so well, but it's hard to find something that Shelby's not willing to jump in and do. I think that's why I want to applaud you and your other colleagues that are there with you. Is that shows your commitment to animals and into animal welfare, and that in this difficult time, you know, somebody asks for some help, you guys jump right in with any task, all to support the animals, and that's huge.
Yep, that's what we're here for.
All right, Shelby. Well, you've got a friendly little cat behind you there that it looks like wants to get some playtime, so I won't keep you too long. Thank you again so much for being awesome, for loving those animals and giving them all that extra love that I'm sure everybody who's watching, you know, wants to see is happening. And just to reassure everybody, it is.
Absolutely. Thanks, Callie.
Thank you. Bye-bye.